We can now bring in Sasha Romantsova, a human rights activist and executive director at the Center for Civil Liberties, which was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize back in 2022. Sasha, thank you so much for joining us on the program today. You are here in Paris as part of the People First initiative. What exactly does this plan aim to accomplish?
First of all, thank you that you are having me here. And that's campaign which we launched together with human rights defenders from Russia and from other organizations who supported the idea that negotiation, peaceful negotiation, which now we have, maybe they're not so success as we want, but they need to have, first of all, first pillar and main discussion. It's a releasing of people who suffering at the captivity at the territory of Russia Federation on control by Russia Federation because they are occupied. It's four main groups which exactly we're trying to put upper at the discussion at this negotiation. At the priority, it's civilian, illegally detained, de facto kidnapped from the territory of Ukraine, and now they're holding them at the Russia jails without any accusation and opportunities exactly have a touch with them. Relatives of lawyers don't have access. Second is a situation with prisoners of war. You know that all of them tortured and they're keeping in the such conditions which exactly Geneva Convention can even imagine to bend it. Fourth group, it's children's. You know that Ukrainian children was illegally deported at the territory of Russia Federation and they're trying to hide them there. They're trying to change their names, their date of birth or place of birth, just don't give them back to Ukraine and to de facto steal them, you know. And last one, but not least, it's a group of people which we call political prisoners. It's civilians and exactly citizens of Russia Federation or Belarus who trying to pick their voice against the war, against this aggression, and because of that, they're sitting in the jail. And a lot of them, same like civilians, they're wounded or they have so bad health conditions that exactly we're afraid that they will not, be alive in the moment when they can be released. For now, Ukraine received 200 bodies, dead corpse, people who was at the captivity and not surviving that. So that's why we want to speak about that.
Now, Sasha, in the past few weeks, we have seen these prisoner exchanges that have happened. It's an important first step, isn't it?
Absolutely, because we need to understand each person, citizen of Ukraine, will be always accepted from Ukrainian side. But sometimes we don't know the list till they not go out from their bus. And when I speak we, I mean whole the Ukrainian society and state. So Russia Federation now, for example, give us back people whom they are not confirmed at the captivity through the whole 3 years. So all of these people was missing person and their relatives, its wives, daughters, sisters, a lot of different friends. They hope that every time when they think that their relatives or beloved he forcibly disappeared, that means that just Russia hold them in captivity, but not confirm that they are there.
You said that Russia has not been respecting the Geneva Conventions. Do you talk us through what you have learned from the experiences Ukrainian soldiers have gone through in Russian prisons?
It's not only soldiers. That's a really important point because Russia denied that that's a war. That even soldiers they don't give the status of war prisoners because through the Geneva Convention they need to protect the person. So they don't give any conditions, normal condition for them, any medicine help. Some of our soldiers who comes back from captivity, they in so horrible condition of the health that next their rehabilitation take like 3 years, 5 years, and that pattern started from beginning of the war 2014. So we have still more than 500 people who was kept at the Donbass or Crimea in 2014, 15, 16, and they still at the jail, and Russia don't want to give them back. And most important, we propose them different citizens of Russia Federation, mostly military, and Russia show that they're not interested in their own citizens to bring them back. So that's disproportion which we're fighting with. We're trying to put this question, people's lives, at the first level of discussion.
So who are you trying to influence here in Paris, for instance, may I ask?
First of all, France was really active at question of political prisoning by Russia's side from 2014, and we really appreciate it. As you remember, that Oleksandra, one of the first political prisoners, they was really welcomed by Macron, President Macron, and they even have a meeting now at Ukraine when Oleg comes back from front line. Now he is a part of Ukrainian army, and that's what happened with absolutely common citizen of Ukraine. You can be journalist, you can be a volunteer, you can be even, I don't know, dancer at the ballet, but you go into the front line because you need to defend your own country. So we first will speak with sure state representative, administration of president, government and parliament, because National Assembly tomorrow we will have a meeting, and that's main point that it's diplomatic work, this dialogue, and put this question at the first pillar of the negotiation with Russia.
I want to talk about this push to diplomacy, because we've seen this since Donald Trump returned to the White House, this push from arming Ukraine to let's talk to Russia. How do you view this process? Is it important, even though it's not bearing fruit as quickly as possible?
It's important if we will have, rules for both sides, because now Trump showing that rules exist only for Ukraine side, and that's a problem. So if we will speak about that Russia Federation have a sanction, and if we will take out some sanctions, so Russia Federation need to change their behavior for this releasing by sanction. So that's really important that such countries like France take it back in the field of rules which both sides can be in.
I want to talk about France because last week we had the French President Emmanuel Macron, who spoke to Vladimir Putin for the first time in 2.5 years. Last week we also had Europe that is unveiled its 18th round of sanctions against Russia. We've seen 17 past rounds of sanctions haven't really influenced Russia's maneuvering in this war. It still continues to wage a war against Ukraine. Should European leaders be pushing more towards diplomacy like the Americans to engage with Russia to shift its strategy to bring this war to an end now?
It's sanction, it's a possible field, to have some negotiation, to have some changes, but it's always need to be not given back just without any rules, So, for example, Russia Federation told that they brings back to Ukraine 6,000 dead corpse bodies of Ukrainian soldiers, and now we receive them and we investigate that most of them it's Russian soldiers, and that's a problem because Russia don't care about even their own citizen body. They don't have a normal procedure of DNA analysis and figure out who they are, people which them receive at the morgue in the Rostov-na-Don. But here it's one of the it's discussable about sanction. Sanction exists to have this discussion. But when you just give them back without any important reason, or without when Russia not even respect the agreement they told about, they will send back 120 civilians at this exchange, 1,000 to 1,000. But they receive not civilians whom they kidnap at the north part of Ukraine. They receive the civilians. It's people who present at the Ukraine, and they forcibly transfer them from occupied territory. We receive them, sure, because it's our citizen, but they trying to cheating even in such things. So we still need a push, brings back civilians to Ukraine, because it's a people with a heart condition, and that's a people who even not a part of army of Ukraine. It's absolutely common people. Just imagine that it's students, preacher, it's a mayor of small cities, so it's a journalist, it's a people who was a leader of community, or even common people.
You're also making the push to bring back, to free Russian people who've come out and spoken against the war. What do you know about who has Russia locked up for speaking out?
So here we need to speak about both Russian and Belarusian civilians who exactly trying to risen up their voice inside the Russian and Belarusian society. And Belarus, it's more than 1,200 people, and 200 of them, it's a women. It's political prisoning, which exactly Lukashenko started from beginning of his career. But now it's a horrible situation because all of them tortured, and it's just imagine it's your own citizens. And when we speak about Russia, that we have a memorial, our co-partners and co-receiver a Nobel Peace Prize organization who have one of department here in France, and memorial collect the data about political prisoners in the territory of Russia Federation. It's a people, sometimes they just wrote something in Facebook or Instagram, or they just say something. I'm saying no war, not something, aggressive or something like this. Like Oleg Orlov, head of Human Rights Center of Memorial, he was detained for 7 years only because he wrote the article that this war need to be stopped.
I remember in the early days of the war, after Russia's invasion began, there were demonstrations taking place in cities across Russia, and one girl got detained and she had a blank piece of paper up.
Absolutely.
Blank piece. I want to talk about the psychological toll this war has taken on Ukraine, because we've had multiple reports of how hard it's been for Ukraine to recruit soldiers to continue this fight. Now we have Americans that are stopping the military shipments that were already agreed to under the previous administration. How far are Ukrainians willing to go to continue this fight, and will there have to be concessions made at some point?
We need to understand we don't have other chance. we exactly need to defend ourselves. We need different form of defense because this war is a hybrid form. And for example, we have missiles and same time we have cyber attack for our state database. Just imagine that tomorrow your passport don't mean nothing. Your, number of your social insurance it's just the numbers. So that's what exactly happened with us. And when we speak about defending, we mean the different big system, really in different level, who need to protect us. Yes, when we speak about mobilized people to the front line, it's happened. It's a question how we don't have a war before 30 years, so we need to defend ourselves and build new kind of army. As we know, now we are still not occupied fully by here Russia, and I think it's absolutely success. But when we speak about our form of defending, for example, we have first world cyber war between Russia and Ukraine now, and a lot of professionals going there, a lot of professionals going to medicine or technical equipment. As you know, that we have 3 times less warriors than Russia army, but we have much more drones and motivation to create new technology. So if USA will not support us, they continue. So part of them, it's not so easy just to establish in one
they're continuing with the intelligence.
We will continue to fight because we don't have other choice. But if we fall, it will be your problem.
But we have, for instance, reports today that Russia is claiming to have taken a village in Dnipropetrovsk. Ukraine has not said anything on that front for now, but I've spoken to a military expert last week, and he said Russia does have the upper hand on the battlefield. Given that Russia has this upper hand on the battlefield, when it comes to negotiating and sitting down face to face with each other, it's difficult to expect Russia to play by the rules.
12 years, we have some negotiation process. Before that, it's called Minsk.
Yeah.
We have Norman format, which exactly starting here in Paris. And every time Russia trying to show that they take a part in that, but de facto they're trying to occupy new territory of Ukraine. Until now, they're not occupied even full the region, except the Crimea. We need to understand, it's because we are fighting every day. We are losing Ukrainian citizens every day. We are losing not only Ukrainian citizens, we have in Ukrainian army, we have Azerbaijan, Armenian, Chechen, Georgian, Russian troops. It's a people who fighting at the Ukrainian sides. Sometimes, again, they own state because they are not agree with exactly Russian made. We will fight till the end because we see it before. 300 years before Russia, every time trying to destroy Ukraine. We're still alive. As for me, it's a victory. It's a victory. But we want to have peace and defending. So that's what we're exactly trying to build. And we think that much better when nobody attack you. But if somebody attack you, you need to have this defending from the military, technical, cyber, in any pillar which exactly it's happened. And even that Russia push us to make some elections during this attack. So even this, we're trying to, if we will have an election in the future, we need to start prepared now, because as you understood, we don't have any election from 2018 and 19. So that means we need to be prepared. It can be now, but in the future, it's possible.
But you're saying, I asked you about territorial concessions. You said we'll continue to fight. But what about concessions like not joining NATO, for instance? Because the U.S. President Donald Trump has said, and his defense secretary, that Ukraine and NATO is unrealistic. NATO countries continue to offer Ukraine hope, even though we all know that it's the United States who essentially gives the green light or not. At one point, would that, if that NATO membership was taken off the table, would that be something that Ukrainians would be able to consider?
Ukrainians never dreaming about NATO before 2022. For your understanding, we never look at that like realistic scenario. In 2022, that we was not first who started speak about that. So about Ukrainian society, I can speak like official position from Ukrainian politician. I'll speak for myself and what I see at Ukrainian society. NATO, not so like, it's not a first point. First of all, it's defending system, and we see it our joining of EU main, main goal, because EU, that's exactly what we're fighting with. It's a rule of law, it's a democracy, it's a human rights. That what the future we want. Ukrainians, we don't like a fight. We defend ourselves because we don't have like other choice now, but always better for us, build a business, families, make love, So something not exactly, that's not our career, what we see next, 50 years, we see our children, so that dynasty of military. No, we drink about some conditions which exactly we can live our peace life. But other way, we understood that occupation don't give any chance of that.
Yeah.
So when we speak about occupation or join to NATO, part of us, which we control of territory or something like this, now Russia received it's Armenia potential NATO base. So if they're dreaming about that, that they will stop this process of joining of NATO at Ukraine, does not mean that other country can't join to NATO. So as my feelings, joining to NATO, it's not main priority for Ukraine society, but maybe Ukrainian president and government see it's much more prioritized. But EU joining for us, that's prioritized, and defending of people. Because now, at the occupied territory, without any law, without any security, live more than 4 million people, minimum. We don't have access, so we even can calculate how many people die in there during this fighting last 3 years. But we need to have security for them, first of all, and for all other people. Now, not exist the city at the Ukraine, which people feel themselves absolutely secured. We are not normal sleep 3 years. We are angry, yes, and we have a reason. But still, we're trying to be fair each other, and we're trying to support other country at an international level, because we see it that our future cooperation, collaboration, and not what exactly proposed Russia.
Good luck for your meetings here in Paris, and thank you so much for coming in and joining us on the program today, Sasha.
Thank you for having me.
Romantsova.